I was preparing for retirement. Then I lost $900,000 in a romance scam. Hi, I'm Lavi, and you are watching the TruthTube files. Here we uncover deception, romance scams, fraud, and so on. But before we start in this story, so I always advise you to drink your water. Stay healthy, and protect your wallet, protect your health, okay? It's include your wallet and your assets. Okay, so let's go. So this lovely lady here, is Jackie Crenshaw, and she was defrauded in out of $900K, unfortunately. All right, so this story is based on an interview with Jackie Crenshaw, 61 of East Haven, Connecticut, the senior manager of breast imaging at a cancer hospital. As I approached my 59th birthday in the summer of 2023, I thought about retiring, which is very good at this age. I had health investment at a robust 401k after working a six-figure salary job for many years and saving about 15% of my income. Well, I always advise myself, and my husband, my dear husband, that we need to save 25% of our income, my income and his income, although 15% is also very, very good and quite impressive. All right, so the prospect of change made me think about having someone to hang out with, a companion to share my later life. So when it starts very fast, when your relationship starts very fast, and when it starts getting like investment together, I want to merge my investment with yours, my money with yours. So be suspicious, because when you have like investment or something, you don't want to share right away. It's very complicated when you do that, and when you merge your incomes and everything. Like, it's too good to be true. It's not like it's so good to be true, can't take my eyes off you. Oh, it's not like that. Can't take my eyes out of your wallet, out of your bank details, of your savings. Yeah, a friend helped me set up a profile on BLK, a dating site geared toward African Americans. More water. One man, a contractor called Brad Miller, caught my eye. He had blue eyes and was very light-skinned, but say he was of African descent. We talked on the platform for 2 or 3 weeks, during which he said he was 49-year-old widower. Isn't always a widower or divorced, with 2 young sons. Oh, we don't have daughters this time. Soon we moved to phone calls and texts. He asked for my address so he could send me flowers for my birthday in late July. So this is the picture of the scammer. Of course, it's blurred here. The scammer, who called himself Brad Miller, sent Crenshaw a series of fake personal photos. Anyway, this is very common, unfortunately. So they started sending, they steal pictures on Instagram, and then started scamming women using their images. So this person here, this is not the scammer, His picture was stolen to commit those crimes. He knew I worked long hours and would ask me if I was tired or hungry. He began sending me food deliveries like chicken and salads via DoorDash or Uber Eats, which made me think he was thoughtful and kind. We started praying together. Oh, it involves religion, gets worse. Okay. Which in hindsight was a good way to get into my emotions. Before long, I'd fallen for him. He talked about me becoming stepmom to his boys and buying a beautiful house in Connecticut together. Like a fairy tale. I always say, I don't think it's fair or anything, but it's my personal opinion, of course, that some people are so greedy. I say people because it's not. I'm not talking about this scammer. They, of course, they are greedy. They are beyond greedy. They are psycho. The victims. Some of them are greedy. Because, he's very rich, or this or that. He started sending me money, or he's sending me expensive gifts. Oh, we are buying a house together. We are this and that. So they start to, feed this feeling. Is not just about love, it's about money too. So, he has more money than me. So, that's okay. I'm not telling the victim is the one to blame. But you need to start thinking with your head, not just, being so impressed by money or by, their pictures of traveling or this or that. Even they just don't turn on the camera and they don't meet you in person. They do not have money to go to see you, or to spend some time with you. In the same city. I don't mean in your house or you in his house, but meet in person. This is much, much more suspicious, right? Okay, let's move on here. Something would always come up when we made plans to meet. But I did tell you now. So Brad said he was based all over the place. What a dream life, huh? First in New York, then in Virginia and California, depending on where his job took him. Whenever he made plans to meet up, something would come up at work, like an employee accident. Oh, now it's employee accident. It was disappointing, but he tried to make it up to me by sending trinkets, including gold and silver necklaces and a pillow with our names on it. To my beautiful wife. To my beautiful future wife. When you had a bad day, I'll promise you a better night. When you need support, I'll be your backbone. You don't ever have to doubt my loyalty. You got me and I got us. It's so disgusting, when you start playing with people like that. Even if it's not, we are talking about romance scams and taking advantage and taking money, okay? But when you start playing with people's hearts like this, you don't want to make a difference in a person's life. You want to take advantage. All right, let me take my sip of water because I get so distracted about this. All right. Eventually, we started talking about money and investing for our future. He introduced me to his brother, Maximilian Online. I was like Maximilian Online, his name. Maximilian Online. Who showed me how to set up a cryptocurrency wallet. Isn't that lovely when you don't know the person that you are dreaming to build a life with, and this person has to have a brother who knows how to set up a cryptocurrency wallet, and he has like a multi-millionaire profits from it. I'm not telling that is impossible. Of course it is possible. Of course cryptocurrency wallet exists, but something is not adding up here, right? You can see that. Imagine something like this. Pretend I'm not talking about romance scams, or I don't have this channel here talking about this, okay? So pretend that I'm not talking about that. So if I'm telling you this story, would be suspecting this, you'd be like, oh my God, this is not adding up. Would you? Okay, I am a very suspicious person. I would immediately think this is very strange. So the cryptocurrency wallet, an online account used to manage that form of virtual currency. I did some research about crypto on Google and still decide to transfer 40K from my 401K. I got caught up in the excitement as the numbers on the statements appeared to increase. If you don't know anything about this, how can you put like $1 there? You go for Google? Really? Ma'am. Maximilian sent me screenshots via text, and Brad texted me pictures of his account too. It appeared he had between 2 million and 3 million in his own wallet and said, I want you to catch up with me. So what the hell is that, you know? So she received, Jackie, this lovely lady there, she received a pillow and a mug showing her and Brad's names, as if they were married, and also included the supposed names of his sons. Oh my, when you don't think it's going to be worse, it gets worse. It gets worse. It looked convincing then. But of course, I know now everything was fake. I was the victim of a massive, widespread scam known as pig butchering, whereby the cyber thieves fatten you up by building trust over time before slaughtering you by stealing your money. All right, so I have another source here about pig butchering. Okay, just real quick here how it works. All right, so the scammers use a variety of methods to contact their victims through text messages, dating apps, and social media. So why I'm showing you here, I'm not just telling, is because for you to read, you know, with me here, because it's might be a little complicated to understand, so is already written here so we can follow me, okay? They may ask to take the conversation offline to a messaging platform like WhatsApp or WeChat. These messages may seem harmless, but they are designed to build ongoing communication. Scammers may spend weeks, even months, in casual conversations before introducing the scam. Yeah, this is social engineering. All right, talking about cybersecurity. They may show off a lavish lifestyle to appear successful, which often leads to conversations about investing. Once the scammer has the victim's trust, they will propose an investment opportunity related to crypto assets. They may offer to train the victim on how to set up an account on exchange to purchase crypto assets, then guide them to convert their cash into crypto through a publicly known exchange, ATM, or digital wallet service, and transfer it to a fraudulent platform. These crypto services are generally not in the scam. They are just channels used by scammers to carry out their schemes. You see, this is very important to know. So the platforms, the crypto services, are generally not a scam, okay? They're just channels used by them to carry out their schemes. All right, so you can look out of fake websites and trading platforms, and okay, so you can report crypto scams and so on. Okay, so this is basically how you can identify that. Okay, so for example here, let's cover a little bit very quick here, identifying information about the scammer. Okay, although the profiles of the scammers may be fake Any information can be useful, such as phone numbers, usernames, email addresses, and social media handles. So you can submit a complaint with DFPI on crypto scams quickly. So in order to find your crypto or on the blockchain, you must provide complete and accurate information. Okay. Before you invest, check our crypto scam tracker. This is quite important as well. So our crypto scam tracker is a valuable resource for consumers navigating the risks associated with crypto assets. This is something that you need even if you are not talking to anybody, you want to invest by yourself, you need to go to study hard about this, and you go for something, of course, legit. Before you start anything, any kind of investment, of course, you need to make a big research. Don't just go for Google and then, and this kind of social engineering. So they start to show off their lavish lifestyles and cars and houses and mansions and townhouses and travels and everything, in order for you to say, hey, he's a bait for you. Oh, he has money and his investments are giving like millions of profits, so I want to be part of this. If you don't have control of your own password, your own something cryptocurrency wallet, you cannot share this information with anybody, just you. Okay? And if you have this kind of conversation with, your future husband, somebody that you even don't know, who is online, and you want to go for it, okay, but you cannot go for this without having full control of your own money. You need to have control of it. So every transaction, you need to be informed. Everything suspicious goes to your email, to your phone, and so on. Okay, so let's continue talking about right here. Brad continued talking about saving for the future and told me he was sending me some of his own money to invest. I received $100,000 check signed by a woman who lived in Florida. Brad says she owned him for contracting work. I googled her name and saw she was connected to a construction firm. The police got an anonymous call saying I was being scammed. Something made me tell my girlfriend, who encouraged me to join the dating site. She was suspicious and told me to go to the police. I filed a report about the potential scam, but they almost left it off. If it goes through, maybe I'll see you driving around town in a fancy car, one of the officers said. I called the woman's bank and they said the check was real. I deposited 3 weeks later and everything seemed fine. I followed the instruction from Brad and Maximilian and converted it into cryptocurrency along with hundreds of thousands of dollars I'd taken from my retired funds and other investments. On their suggestion, I also took a home equity loan on my condo, so I had more money to invest in crypto. Okay, so this is when the downfall. So here's her and her 60th birthday party. Well, meanwhile, Brad encouraged me to throw a fancy party on a yacht for my 60th birthday. He sent me $36,000 for deposits, which I sent to vendors via cashier's check. You see how they do? It's a very sophisticated scam. because he's sending money and he sent $100,000. But I will go back there about the fraudulent check, okay? We planned to go to Santorini, Greece after the party. And I sent Brad a copy of my passport so he could book the vacation. Talking about sending passport here, there, I had an experience with fake online job, of course. I work remotely, and then I received this proposal. So I fill out the form and everything, and they called me for an interview some days later. I was okay, let's give a shot, although I suspected it was not good, too good to be true, actually. And as I told you guys before, I'm a very suspicious person, and I wanted to see if everything was legit, because when we work remotely, sometimes you need to send your details, I don't mean the passport but the ID from your country, if you are from a different country, and in order to send your information abroad, so to be verified and everything checked. So it's very common. But to send a copy of a passport, I started suspecting a little bit more. Anyway, scrutinizing the company existed, was legit, but some parts of the website didn't add up. It was wrong, and then I checked the domain. It was built up one day before they contacted me. I found out after I got approved in the interview, and the interview was very weird because the guy appeared on camera, and then he, 5 seconds, and he was dressed in a shirt, a tie, and everything, but it was 5 seconds, and then he disappeared, and he claimed that he had a technical problem, and he asked me to send videos with some questions that he wanted me to answer. After that, I started, when he sent me the email, the company's, the contract. The contract was very weird. I've never seen such contract like that. And then he asked me the copy of my passport, a picture of my passport. I was like, no, I thought no. And then I started by the contract he sent me. I looked for the domain, and then I found out that the domain was set up 2 days before they contacted me for this job interview. I didn't tell him, this person, that I suspect, and my suspicions were right. I didn't tell him any details. I just said, okay, I'm very flattered, but I need to say no. I need to decline your offer. And he said, oh, why? If you need more time, I can provide you more time. I said, no, thank you very much. I will decline. All right. And he disappeared. And his Skype ID, was blocked and everything. And I never found his name on LinkedIn. So the guy from a very big company in Japan doesn't have a LinkedIn or anything. But the guy was not Japanese. But he claimed that he was working in Japan. Sometimes, actually lots of times, I receive fake job proposals. Be careful with that too. Yeah. They are everywhere. Those scammers are everywhere. All right, so, then in June 2024, I received a call from my local police department. They said they'd gotten an anonymous call from someone who felt sorry for me because they thought I was being scammed. To this day, I don't know who it was. All right, so I contacted the police, state police, so she said in shock. The police asked me to catalog the several different crypto wallets I had accumulated for that point because Brad said it would maximize my portfolio. They gave me the website for the federal government division that handles online fraud. I didn't hear back. Still, I was actively speaking to Brad, who kept saying, oh no, let me check with my brother. He assured me that everything was fine. Of course. And I wanted to believe him. It was extremely confusing, and I went ahead with the yacht party. Brad was supposed to come, but he said at the last minute that his boss hadn't allowed him to time off. It was the final straw and reinforced my concerns that I was being scammed. A devastating feeling. I wound up blocking his number a week after the party. Then I contacted the state police with a suitcase full of information. The Department of Social Services visited my house to check on my mental state. The criminal case is ongoing. One state trooper has shown a special interest in my case. He followed the money and traced the e-wallets to Singapore and Nigeria. Yes, most of them are in Nigeria, fortunately. The whole experience led to my current campaign as fraud fighter for AARP, raising awareness about cyber criminals and connecting with legal people like the Connecticut Attorney General. Sorry, I lost about $900,000 from my savings. The effects of this scam have been devastating. I lost around $900,000 and I'm liable for income tax on a portion of the amount I withdrew. My home is on jeopardy and now I have no idea when I will be able to retire. Thankfully, I still have my job as a manager, but everything that comes in goes right back out. I'm in an ongoing battle with the bank because I feel they didn't conduct a forensic investigation into illegal process known as check kiting, a form of bank fraud that involves using checks to create the illusion that money is available when it isn't. It wasn't done by me, yet the bank is charging me interest. I've sought mediation. Okay, so here, what happened here? All right. Kiting is a form of fraud that exploits financial instruments like checks or securities to obtain unauthorized credit. Let's go here for kiting, okay? I'm not reading everything, but you can go here for investopedia.com, all right? And you can inform yourself. All right. So it involves fraudulently using financial instruments such as checks to obtain unauthorized credit. The practice targets banks and retailers, exploiting flow times to facilitate illegal withdrawals. All right. So, carried out within the banking system, kiting typically involves passing a series of checks at two or more banking institutions using accounts that have insufficient funds, relying on the flow time required for a check deposit at one bank to clear at another. So the kiter typically writes a check at the first bank against an account at the other. Before the check clears, they then withdraw the funds from the second bank account and deposit the funds back into the first. The process may then be repeated in the opposite order, sometimes repeatedly. So the net result is a series of fraudulent withdrawals that rely on being a step ahead of the fraudulent check on which they are based, having cleared. Reduced times for checks to clear have helped to reduce the incidence of checks kiting involving banks. as have such practices as bank placing holds on deposit funds and charging for refund checks. I know it sounds crazy, but it happens a lot. Not just about romance scams, but involving, for example, payments. You are working for somebody and somebody gives you a check. Oh, okay, like this woman who owed him money for a construction, or a kind of a job he made, allegedly made, but we know we didn't. And this they are all connected, of course, in this kind of fraud. Okay, I truly feel like Brad cared about me. It's been hard to put my face forward as a victim. Still, if I hadn't, I would feel like a romance scammers have won twice over. Well, this is a correct thought. Yeah, I agree with her. Because otherwise, if you don't not like you move on and you forget or forgive and it's everything okay, it's not like that. It's just for you to clear yourself in order for them not to steal you over and over again. It does make sense. Think about that. Okay, so it feels good to alert people to the red flags that I missed. They include disclosing personal information on a dating platform and refusing to meet in person. Also, be suspicious of anyone who wants you to move your money. The thieves stole the life I worked so hard for. It was evil, and I don't want anyone else to find themselves in this situation. Okay, please leave your comments below. Share your thoughts about this story. If you faced something similar, if you know somebody who faced something similar or worse, anything, share your thoughts here. Okay, so don't forget to go to my website, TruthTubeFiles.com, and hit subscribe and hit the like button. All right, and see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Have a blessed night. Drink your water, protect yourself, protect your wallet. Okay? See you next time.